Well, hello there, and welcome again to another exciting, amazing edition of my sometimes crazy, boring, lazy, and sometimes exciting life. I'm John Wagner. You all know me. I'm just giving you an update today on, it is Monday, the 17th of February, 2005. Well, I like to start these videos with a little bit of a vibration rising tone, right? You know my tone. I think it goes like this. I don't know why, but that always works for me. It seems so simple, so easy. Anybody could do it. I think that's the best part about it. You don't need to be tall. You don't need to be short. You don't need to be old or young. You don't need to know anything to just be able to make a sound that makes you feel happy. Maybe it could be this. That could make you laugh. But for me, just going always gets my spirits up. Raising vibration, right? That's what we're doing, trying to raise our vibration. Well, today, February 17th, a little update. If you've been following my videos, thank you. And I'm going to post my YouTube channel, Life Loves Life. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. Because I'd like to be able to go live there. I need 50 subscribers. That's all. So I'll post my link on top. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It'll help me out a lot. Pardon me. So, an update. I am pretty sure I had an appointment. At one point I thought that people were trying to commit me, right? Because they couldn't incarcerate me. So, of course, what's the next step? Commitment. Well, I guess I've been learning the legal process. This is a first-hand education. And when you go into something knowing nothing, it can seem a bit daunting. But it seems that I have been, or will most definitely be, deemed fit to proceed. And yeah, I'm still doing the same things, still living at the same place, but with a few minor adjustments. Good adjustments. So hopefully in March, I'll be able to start actually going to court for what my alleged charges. Got some good evidence that's, corroborates my perception of things, which is good. It's just, sometimes we just have to go through things. There might not be any rhyme or reason for it, but it's always a lesson. We always learn something from it, really. There are no mistakes. There are only lessons. So let's look. Yeah, so we'll find out in March. Pretty soon, I'll be a free man. So I'm done with that stuff. I'm done talking about the negativities. The negativities. No, thank you. But I did want to reflect on a few things that I received during my meditation at the last full moon. I know the full moon was a week ago on the 12th, but, well, about 5 days ago. But I got some messages, I guess, for myself, just reflections of some of the things, like, I've been through quite a bit. And so one of the reflections that I was just remembering was that one time when I was in prison in Taiwan, I had a dream. And basically I was sitting I was sitting on this, like, I went into this beautiful house, right? Big old style Victorian era house. And I sat down on the couch, and on a table in front of me was this huge bowl of wrapped candies, right? A huge, like 3 foot diameter, deep bowl with thousands of candies. So what do? Of course, I know that the bowl is full of candy for visitors. So I take one out of the bowl and I eat it. Well, the message that I got during that dream, and it's kind of like the one of my problems, I guess, in life, is that my higher power said, John, you sit down in front of this huge bowl of candy and you just take one. You should take a handful. You should feel confident and good enough about yourself, about the situation, to take a handful, because obviously there's enough. So I just wanted to reflect on that. If we could think about our life like a giant bowl of candy, thousands and thousands of candies in this huge bowl, we should take a handful of those candies, not just one or two here and there. Really, really get some good tastes from our own bowl of candy, which is our life. Take a handful. Another thing that I've been thinking about, of course, is UAPs, or interdimensional beings, or whatever you want to call a higher consciousness, higher entity beings. Now, it's really interesting how the media will be focused on one thing one day and another thing the next day. And because of our attention spans, we'll forget what was focused on yesterday. But it's still there. We're just not getting the daily reminders of things that are still going on. So, one of the other things that sort of came during my meditation was this idea about raising our frequency, right? And what that kind of means, raising our frequency. And so I read a book, like, I read a book. I read this book one day. It was great. I've read lots of books. So I read this book years and years ago. It was called The Celestine Prophecy. And one of the ideas that was posed in that book, because they go to these ancient sites in Peru and they're saying, well, where did these people go? Right? They've got all this amazing structures and technologies. Where did they go? So one of the ideas that was posed was that they literally vibrated on a different frequency and then literally went to another dimension, so to speak. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that because there's so many coincidences when it comes to ancient megalithic sites, ancient structures, and cymatics, the study of sound. If you've ever looked at anything, look it up, cymatics. Sound, right, goes out in 360 degrees. A certain sound will have a resonating pattern, right? There's a certain sound and they'll have a resonating pattern. You can either see it on a line graph. Well, I saw something really interesting because those patterns that we see in cymatics are usually circular, right? You see it in a circular form, and you'll see the same kinds of patterns, these geometric vibrational patterns of tones that look exactly like stained glass windows in old churches and temples. You'll see them engraved in stone, these circular and then columns too, with what look like the exact representation of certain tones. Well, if you think about all these temples and all these, well, we call them temples, right? All these structures that obviously the acoustics are from another time. The acoustics are amazing, beyond our own understanding. And the pillars themselves are physical representations, some of them, some of the ones I've been looking at in India, look like physical representations of a vibrational frequency made out of stone. So if you could imagine, just imagine for a moment, the same way that when a hummingbird flicks its wings, you can't see it, right? It's a blur. It's moving so fast. Those wings are moving so fast. You can't just look at them and see the wings moving. They're moving so fast, they appear invisible. So raising your literal energetic vibration, your electromagnetic field, right? Your bioelectric magnetic field. Your, what'd you call it? Bioelectromagnetic field, right? All of us have that, this heart resonance. There's a lot of different things that go into that resonance. So with that kind of idea in mind, that just birds' wings going so fast, a hummingbird's wings, that we can't see them. Maybe because 10,000 years ago, when there were technologies that we obviously don't have and an understanding of sound and frequency that is not part of common knowledge, basic common knowledge right now, the idea is through meditation and actually using the sound and being in these buildings that are made to resonate a certain tone, that you could actually raise the cellular frequency of your body to exist in still a material plane, right? It's still material. It's just vibrating on a different level. It's vibrating on a higher frequency. So it's still here. And this goes into the message I got. It's like these people from the past, right? The Anunaki and other beings, they're still here. They're existing with us on this planet. They're just in a higher frequency of existence. It's still a material plane. There's still rocks. There's still mountains and water. It's just that water and those mountains and those people have somehow managed to vibrate on a higher frequency into a higher material plane. It's an interesting idea. And that's kind of what the message I got is that's why we can't see a lot of the UFOs that sometimes, people will have out a camera or a cell phone and you won't see anything out in front of you, but then you use a camera and you can see it. Because these things are vibrating at a frequency that we can't see, a light frequency that we can't see with our eyes. But when we shoot it with a camera, oh gosh, there's something there. So that's the idea behind some of these spiritual practices. Is it, I don't know, is it better there? I don't know, right? But it does make sense that matter, because we know that most matter is empty space, right? We've looked at that. We have to understand. Got to be there, right? If matter is mostly empty space, if we vibrated on different levels, we could exist in the same space and time with other realities and other dimensions. So being able to go into another dimension or another reality, so to speak, you don't have to go anywhere. You just raise your vibration and exist in another parallel material dimension to a point where people couldn't even see you anymore if they're down here, right? So anyway, just an interesting idea of where some of these, not everybody, where some of the ancient people might have gone. They just raised their vibration, because remember, spirituality was not as much as a nebulous belief as it was a technology, right? Spirituality, sound, frequency, heart vibration, love, all those things, right? Opening hearts, opening minds, raising your frequency. and not living in fear and all that stuff that keeps us in a base level. You know, we could be living these lives without having starvation and things like that if we shared our goods and we didn't all accept the idea of money, right? Remember, money is an idea. Money doesn't exist. We just agree that it does. But when it comes down to it, what is value? Where's one person's job worth $20 an hour and another person's job's worth 100? You see what I mean? Where is the value if it's just an idea? So money's just an idea. And if we were able to see and feel on more of a humanistic level and not such a selfish nationalistic level, we would be able to share resources and let go of, we'd be able to meet everybody's basic needs with food and water and shelter, things like that. Because once you have your basic needs met, you can start to pursue higher frequency thoughts, right? When you're not stuck in survival mode. Oh shit, I gotta get paid, I gotta pay my rent, I gotta go shopping, oh, my car just broke, my girlfriend doesn't like me, and right? We're in survival mode all the time. Most people in America are 2 paychecks away from homelessness. It happened to me. It could happen to you too. Don't think you're immune. But it can happen to anybody. One car wreck, one broken femur, the next thing you know, you got cancer. And your home is on foreclosure and you can't go to work and you're dependent upon the system. It happens to people, right? So when you're stuck in survival mode all the time, having to worry about all these things that we pay for because of the idea of money, it keeps our vibration low. We're not able to, with our needs met, pursue higher thought processes. So I'm just saying, obviously in the past, they were. Simple as that. And they're still here. They're just vibrating on a higher frequency of this material realm. So yeah, just wanted to share that idea today. Something like that. And, so I want to keep going on with this because it does play into this material idea that frequency is simply making a rhythm. That's a frequency. Hitting the drum. That's a frequency. But you got to keep it going for it to resonate. Right? If I sped that up, that tone, if we sped that up really fast, it would sound like a tone. But if you take it down real low, it sounds like right? Right. The same way if I talk like this, we can put it all the way up and pretty soon I'm sounding like a chipmunk. Right? That's how the chipmunks used to sing, right? They just put it on 45 and next thing you know, it goes from napalm death to chipmunks. So this is another thing that I was thinking about. Frequency, vibration, and repetitive motion. And this gets into ritualism and ritual practice and things like Freemasonry or traditional esoteric arts, martial arts, or doing your, creating habits and things like that. If you've ever worked with music before, right? If you've ever been a musician or played guitar, you know that there's feedback, right? You can get feedback when you put the guitar up to the amp. But it doesn't happen instantly, right? Some feedbacks take time to resonate and come to fruition, to resonance, harmonic resonance. I have a friend that makes feedbacks. Some of them take hours to reach a harmonic resonance where it's full and complete. It takes time. So, I mean, think about a Tibetan bowl. You have to start out, you're rubbing the bowl, and over time it starts to resonate, and then finally it's there. Well, that happens with music, those frequencies. It happens in ritualism through practice and action. It's doing the same thing over and over again, creating a rhythm or a pattern. You could call it a new habit, but you're sending physical patterns, physical vibration. So if you wake up every morning and at the same time of day, every morning at 6 o'clock, and you start doing your qigong, every morning you start doing your qigong at the same time every day, or at the same time every day you do something the same way. Maybe it's hitting a bell, maybe it's saying a prayer. The same time every day, you'll create a harmonic resonance at some point. It takes time. Things don't just happen instantly. It takes time to create that harmony, that resonance. So I'm not quite there yet. I don't know. I'm trying. I'm keeping it up. Because this stuff, we all think about it, but what do we actually do, right? So I think about my own training with martial arts and just how, it's kind of like practicing a straight punch over and over again. You do it the same way, you learn how to do it, then pretty soon, after a year or two, right, this straight punch is already within you. It's almost like a vibration. You don't have to think about doing it anymore. It just exists. It's your straight punch, right? It just exists without having to do all the waist turn and everything. You can just bust it out. Oh, okay, my straight punch. It'll just become natural. It becomes nature. So the things that we do repetitively will become our nature, right? We become what we are. So yeah, I'm trying something a little new today. I'm trying something. I'm kind of making this video this way rather than doing it live because I want to give it a shot and see if this works okay. I've got Isis here with the Shri Yantra. I don't know if you can see that. It's hard to see. But yeah, so I'm going to try and keep this a little more brief, but still give us something to talk about. I still have the same thoughts about people with tinted windows, right? What are you doing in there? I always feel strange when I'm walking down the street and a car pulls up next to me and I can't see. I'm afraid to go across the sidewalk. It's like the sign says walk. I've got the green light, but there's this car right next to me with black tinted windows. Do they know I'm standing there? Do they see me? I don't know. Who's in there? What are they doing? What you doing in there? Because I can't see anything, right? That doesn't seem very cool to me. That seems nefarious. That's a nefarious kind of thing, to be able to drive around and not look at your victims. No, you can't see me. I'm just gonna mow you down in secret. Yeah, whatever. Still seems strange to me. So I wanted to share something. One of my favorite people is Luke Chan. Luke Chan, right there. Luke Chan did this translation of the Tao Te Ching. It's a really good one, right? Because when it comes to translating Chinese, especially ancient Chinese, you can have two people with PhDs in the same language. They can do a translation of ancient Chinese and be completely different depending upon their own understanding of where these characters first came from and their own personal bias and things. I mean, it's really interesting how one scholar can translate an ancient text another scholar can translate the same text and have it come out completely differently. So anyway, I like Luke Chan's uh, translation of the Tao Te Ching because not only is a Qigong teacher, but he puts love into it. You know, love is the highest vibration. So when you're talking about things in nature, man, love. Gotta have the love. So I wanted to share. I gotta put my reading glasses on for this one. Oh. Yeah, yes I do. Sorry. I mean, I can read it. Okay, well, I guess I'll just read it without my glasses. Because, yeah, it's kind of a new thing. I wore glasses for 7 years, and I just woke up one morning, and with enough light, I don't need glasses to read anymore. If the light is good. If the light is bad, then yes, glasses help. So, in this amazing book, The 8 Secrets of Tao Te Ching by Luke Chan, I just wanted to share part of the English translation of one of the passages out of the Tao Te Ching. Why? Because it's good stuff. And I just pulled this one out because I know a lot of people are focused on government and things. So this one says something about government. So I thought I'd read it to you. It says, misfortune in disguise. When the government is dull and sluggish, the people are honest and simple. When the government is sharp and exacting, the people are cunning and lacking. Misfortune is the root for fortune. Fortune is hidden in misfortune. Who knows what the future holds for one at any moment? Honesty cannot exist by itself. Honesty can turn into dishonesty at any time. Goodness cannot exist by itself. Goodness can turn into evil. This has been puzzling man for a long time. Since opposites always come in pairs, the sage chooses to stay at the center of the oneness, to include all opposite pairs. Thus, he avoids extremes by being square, but not cutting, pointed, but does not harm, straight, but does not bully, bright, but does not dazzle. By staying with oneness, the sage always has good fortune on his side. What does it mean to you? What does it mean to me? What does anything mean? The idea is not to get caught up, to stay in the middle. Don't be burdened or weaponized by ideals. Red, blue, black, right, good, bad. One man's garbage is another man's gold. You might think you're good, but good can obviously be evil. Because there's been a lot of people that have done things in the name of good, but those were evil things that they did. So just keep aware of your own truth, of basic human truth, love, and basic needs, and the respect that all humans deserve. You know, with everything that's going on, I had a dream the other night. These Mexicans were running down the street. These Mexican people in my dream were running down the street with like the kind of blankets, those gray blue woven blankets that hospitals give to homeless people. They were running down the street just looking for a safe place because they were getting kicked out of their home. And it's just, I don't even know, like, I'm not affected by this, am I? I mean, we all are. We're all connected. And so just to feel that fear, you know, it's just, it appalls me that on a nation built from immigrants that we would act that way to people that have been here for a while, you know? It's really sad. Well, anyway, I think I was going to share one more thing before going because I don't know. Sometimes I share a song, sometimes I share a story. So I was going to maybe share a story. You know, some of the things that have formed the ideas in my life. See, this is my page. All these little things here. There's more, but every one of those, and then on this page too, there's a couple others, but there's more than just this. But that's a couple hundred there. These are all true stories that happened in my life that have formed, ground the lenses through which I see the world. So let's see. And they're teeny, so I do need my glass. I think I do need my, these are teeny. Man. So this happened to me. That one, I'm sorry. There's so many. I got to keep this like, within community standards and shit. Right? Oh, let's see. Oh, geez. Yeah, that's right. Oh, okay. Oh, gosh. Oh, geez. I mean, I gotta find one. Okay, I'll just start with the one that, because it leads into things. Okay, this is just, we'll talk about this one. So, I've seen lots of UFOs. I started seeing them when I was 10, my first experience, and I've since gone on to see many more. I say I'm part of the Disclosure Project because it is a grassroots thing, and I'm talking about it. I've been talking about Stephen Greer a lot and his project, and CE5, which is Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, CE5 Contact, where you do meditation, reverse remote viewing, and then you vector the orbs in or other entities with a laser. So I used to drink a lot when I was younger, like a lot, I don't think I didn't hurt anybody. I was just an asshole sometimes, but mostly I was just having fun. But I drank excessively. I mean, I would drink to blackout and just excessive. I could drink 2/5 of alcohol in a night, just 5 minutes. I could smoke a cigarette or two and guzzle a fifth of alcohol in like 10 minutes. So I would get inebriated. I have a lot of stories, like, because obviously when you get drunk and you're out rambling around town, shit happens, right? But it is real shit. I mean, it still happens to you, right? It's just more stuff happens when you're out and about. So I woke up one day. I mean, I used to drink a lot, and I know that I have been rescued, right? It is not the decisions that I have made in my life of why I'm still alive today. I have a lot of things that happened while I was drunk. I had a lot of things, amazing things that happened when I wasn't drunk, completely sober, right? So, I mean, my life is full of really interesting things, drunk and sober. This is one of the drunk ones. So, I was 16 and I woke up in the back of my VW. I used to have a Volkswagen, a 1978 Volkswagen Squareback. And one morning, I woke up in the back of that car, like in the back, like not the back seat, but like the back seat in the trunk. Not the front trunk, but like the back of the car. covered in puke. There's puke in my hair. There's puke everywhere. But I was in a field behind a mountain, like 10 miles out of town. No roads, nothing. How did I get there? When I got out of the car, I was confused. I woke up covered in puke, and I look around. I'm just dry grass everywhere, and I get out. I looked for tire tracks. There's no roads. I had to drive around that field just looking for a fence, for a road to get out of there. I don't know. I think I might have just mowed over something to get onto the road that was on the other side of the fence. I don't know how I got there. Okay. But if I had, normally things like that don't happen to me. But I mean, honestly, I have to believe because the grass wasn't fucked up. I don't know how I got there. I think I literally got teleported there. I think I probably like drove off a cliff or was gonna drive into something, right? And just blink, I get teleported and wake up in the back of my car, safe. Things like this have happened to me more than once, and sober too. So just one of those things. So yeah, I'm just so grateful to be here today, to be living and breathing. I made it through adolescence, young adulthood, and part of adulthood, right? I'm still here, still breathing. I'm still happy and I'm loving of all life and everybody. I'm just so happy to be breathing and eating food. I mean, it's these things that we have to remember that gratitude starts with things like being able to bend your fingers. Be grateful that you can bend your fingers. Be grateful that your hands can make a fist or open up. Be grateful if your knees can bend. Oh, hallelujah. Your knees can bend. You can move your arms. Oh, you can breathe without pain. Oh my God, could you imagine? That's the thing. We have to imagine what it would be like if we couldn't bend our fingers. Imagine if you couldn't bend your fingers for 10 years and then you woke up one day and all of a sudden you can bend your fingers. Oh my God, it would just be the best day of your life. You'd start crying. Oh my God, I can't believe it. It's been 10 years since I fucking bent my fingers. Look, look. And that's the thing, like gratitude, when you feel true gratitude, it's not a lack of ambition. It's just we don't need a ton of things to actually be truly happy. And when you have gratitude for the things in your life, we don't need as much extraneous stuff, material possessions, to make us actually feel how amazing life is. And that's exactly what life is. It's a feeling. Life is a feeling. It's an emotional and mental experience. It's not about what you have. It's about the feeling you get from that thing or non-thing. Think about it. Life is emotional. It's a feeling. It's non-material. Your experience of life and how fulfilled you are is an emotional and mental thing. So as we strive to try and get these things, I need that new boat. I need that new car. Well, once I get this new fishing pole, I know I'm going to do better. Once I get all these things, I mean, be grateful of what you have. Be grateful for these things. Because it will, when you do, if you can be grateful for having your basic needs met, it just makes every other thing icing on the cake. A delicious cake of life. Anyway, I hope you're all doing great. I love you all so much. And this has been John Wagner's Amazing Crazy Life. Again, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It'll help me a lot in the future. So I'll leave you with another Vibration Rising Dough. Man, I tell you, it's as good as farts. If you, the day you stop laughing at farts, that's when you're getting old. You know you're getting old if you can't laugh at farts anymore. Anyway, I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Mwah.